Hi, this is Frank Taylor with Nature at Your Door, and this is an on-the-road episode of Nature at Your Door in Ticino, Switzerland. We're on the Tre Signori Via Ferrata, which is a spectacular via ferrata with 3 different routes that ascends this mountainside almost 1,600 feet, absolutely straight vertical. So this episode today is about this adventure that I took, getting really close to nature and geology and the beautiful Swiss mountains on a fantastic day. So stay tuned.
Right here in your backyard. You never know what you're going to find.
Most of my channel, I take you to see amazing wildlife, organisms, trees, plants, insects, snakes, salamanders, and all of those things. But I also want to take you to the places where these organisms live and see some of these places, not only around my house where I live in the state of Virginia, but also here, for example, in Switzerland, where my family roots are, where my mother was born, and where I have very, very deep connections. This particular Via Ferrata, which is climbed with a helmet and Via Ferrata apparatus and a climbing harness, you follow this cable. In many places, there are wire rungs or steel rungs embedded in the rock and handholds for you to climb on. In other places, it just seems to be sheer rock, and you have to use a little bit of rock climbing skill and your hands and feet to negotiate it, like in this section just below me right here. I love climbing Via Ferratas. I have a lot of experience doing this. I started climbing at age 50, and this is by far my favorite adventure and thing to do when I travel. I'll put links in the description, but this Via Ferrata is on a mountain in between Lake Lugano and Lago Maggiore near the town of Bellinzona. You can take a train to Bellinzona and a bus out to the village of Sementina and take a lift or a gondola cable car from the Monte Carasso cable station to the stop at Monera. You have to schedule this ahead of time and reserve your seat because it doesn't run all the time. A short hike through the forest brings you to this amazing granite gneiss rock face, amazing views and amazing climbing. I'm climbing today with a new friend by the name of Raffeallo, lives and works in Bellinzona and has lots of experience climbing, and I was grateful that he was willing to go on with me on this particular Via Ferrata. On this particular Via Ferrata, I'm using an apparatus called the Skylotech Rider, which provides me a little bit of extra security. I'm 66 years old, and some of these parts of this Via Ferrata were pretty challenging, moving from point to point, and I was grateful for the added protection and also the use of carabiners and some slings to provide me some static rest when I needed it. As I mentioned earlier, this Via Ferrata has 1,600 feet of just about vertical surface. The filming here, I'm doing it with one hand with my cell phone camera as I'm clinging onto the cable or the rock with my 2 feet and my other hand. So it's a little bit shaky here in places. Sometimes it doesn't look vertical, but that's the trick of the camera. I hope this doesn't sound cliche, but this was one of the climbs that when I left it, I felt, I think I learned something about myself. There were points on this climb, due to the steepness and the verticalness and the length of it and some of the required moves, where I became exhausted to the point, and of course also in the face of this enormous exposure, where I almost felt like I couldn't go on, and you certainly can't go back down again. So by resting, however, my muscles would recover and I was able to continue to move forward But this climb really challenged me both physically and mentally. Seemingly all too soon, we finally reached the top and returned to the gondola lifts by a beautiful trail down through the valley and through the forest. Thanks for watching this episode of Nature at Your Door from the Tre Signori Via Ferrata above Bellinzona near the lakes of Lugano and Lake Maggiore and beautiful sunny Ticino. Remember, if you like what I do on this channel, please subscribe, give me a like, and I love hearing from my viewers. Please leave me a comment.
And remember, I cover all things nature, from frogs, toads, snakes, turtles, the myriapoda, insects, trees, wildflowers, and fungi. I cover all the things you might encounter just outside your door.
So thanks again for watching this episode of Nature at Your Door.